Hello everybody, it's Zach here from realestatelicensewizard.com. Today we're going over another one of our practice real estate exam questions. If you're new here, we post a new question every Monday through Friday. If you have any questions you want me to cover, you can comment the question down below or send us an email with that question. Of course, if you want to try these exam questions out yourself, as well as tons of others, go ahead and check out our website, realestatelicensewizard.com. Now, this series, as well as our channel, has been such a fantastic experience for not just us, but for anyone preparing for the real estate exam. So make sure to click that like button and subscribe. That way you are fully prepared come exam day. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. So today's question has to deal with contract clauses. We're wrapping up that section today. I think we did 6 or 7 questions about contract clauses, but as I mentioned before, they're super important. And I am going to leave a link down below of our full video on contract clauses too, but we'll worry about that later. All right, so the question states, if a contract has prepayment penalties, they can be found in which real estate contract clause? And it gives us 4 options like usual. A, in the habendum clause, B, in the defeasance clause, C, in the prepayment penalty clause, or D, in the penalty and insurance clause. So as always, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an opportunity to pause here, reread it, think it over, and come up with your answer. So go ahead and do that right now. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys came up with your answer for this one, and of course, hopefully it's the correct one. So what is the correct answer for this one? Well, it's going to be C. It's in the prepayment penalty clause. So this one's kind of self-explanatory. As the question states, it mentions prepayment penalties, so you can kind of use that thought process to just figure out that prepayment penalties are covered in the prepayment penalty clause. However, this one can be confused. People can get confused on that. It's totally understandable because there are so many contract clauses that you are required to know. So it can be kind of difficult to distinguish which is which. So for those of you guys who don't know, a prepayment penalty clause just states that a lender can penalize a borrower if the borrower pays off the mortgage much sooner than usual. Now, of course, lenders are required to disclose prepayment penalties. Sorry, it's a little bit of a tongue twister. Prepayment penalties at closing in the form of a prepayment penalty clause. So as I mentioned in last week's video, I talked about prepayment penalties and how they're becoming less and less popular nowadays. Loan providers and banks aren't doing them as much, but all the more reason you still have to know what it is, and you still have to know how they work and kind of, where these prepayment penalties are located. And of course, that is C, in the prepayment penalty clause. All right, so that'll be it for our contract clauses that we're covering for our daily real estate exam questions. So we did, I believe, 6 or 7, and hopefully you guys got a good grasp on all of them. If not, again, we do have specific videos covering each contract clause that you need to know for the exam. So I encourage you guys to check that out as well if you're struggling, or maybe you just want a refresher before you take the exam on contract clauses. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this question. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Zach from realestatelicensewizard.com. Make today magical.